So what I want to talk to you about now is avoiding the common mistakes. And I guess one thing I feel in terms of a duty of care, I know how powerful this is. I know how bad it is when they go wrong. And I know that in 99.9% of cases, that can be avoided by avoiding these three mistakes. And I can almost guarantee that when a strategic alliance goes wrong, one or three of these mistakes has occurred. So the first one is that one or both parties don't have a win-win strategy. It never ceases to amaze me the way many people make an approach to a prospective strategic alliance partner, and a lot of our clients complain about it. And funnily enough, it's gotten to the point now in our community where our clients say to us when I make an introduction, have they done your program? And when they're trying to negotiate with somebody, if they're finding it's hard work, quite often they are sending them to one of our programs. So, very happy to hear that. But, it's great to have a win-win strategy. That is the ultimate way to succeed, I think, in business and life. And it's really important that, when you have this intention and this attitude, it does two things. It builds your confidence because you're going in because you know you have the right intention. It also helps you to come across energetically and in your language and your body language in that way. The templates that we use, the way in which we approach partners, we have very, very high success rate because of the ways that we go about it. And the second thing that it does for you with this sort of approach is it gives you the confidence to walk away. So it gives you the confidence to be on a level playing field and to be able to walk away from it if you can't see a sufficient win in it for you. Because if it isn't win-win, it's not going to be sustainable and it's actually no good for anybody. And I think the Groupons and Scoopons of the world have demonstrated this in the way that, I really believe they went for a quick cash grab in a lot of cases and they didn't look after their merchants. Ultimately, the customers suffered as well, the businesses suffered. And I heard recently that Groupon, I think it was Groupon, had turned down $6 billion offer to buy the company, and now they're barely breaking even. So, I do like to say that having a partner-friendly culture can save you billions of dollars in that example. Mistake number 2 is incompatible values. So it never ceases to amaze me how many examples you see of this around the world. And I had an example myself where we were working with a very large loyalty marketing company, very nimble, very entrepreneurial. And they had an amazing idea and an amazing alliance, joint venture actually, opportunity with a very big established newspaper conglomerate. But unfortunately, because they were very conservative and very slow moving, after 2 years and millions of dollars invested, the initiative never took off. And there were really no surprises there. Now, you want to be careful for a couple of reasons here. One is you can waste a lot of time and money. It can be very painful. You can end up in this situation. And you can also, and look, for all the good intentions, if you don't have compatible values, it's probably going to go off the rails. The other thing about this is that when you have incompatible values, you can confuse your customers and you may even upset them. So imagine if British American Tobacco and the Heart Foundation formed an alliance. It would be confusing, it would probably upset a lot of people, and you have to be really careful about that. I talk to a lot of people in my seminar about the Woolworths and Jamie Oliver alliance, because on first glance you think, I don't know if that's a good idea, because Jamie's such an ethical man with a huge cause and doing such great things. Last I read of Woolworths, they're the largest owner of poker machines in the country. They sell the most alcohol. However, you dig a little deeper and you go, you know what, Woolworths are very clever. They can see the change in culture, and ultimately, we as consumers have the buying power. And times are shifting. And, I believe that Woolworths are introducing a policy where they won't sell cage eggs anymore. So they're very, very clever in getting a face like Jamie Oliver aligned with their brand. And when you think about it, and this is what I talk about too, that when you do this the right way, it doesn't matter how big you are, you can really put yourself on a level playing field with your partner. And you need to be there no matter what the differences are in size or money. Mentally, you need to be on a level playing field to make sure that you can get the best outcomes. So with someone like Jamie Oliver, he's a much smaller business than Woolworths. But I would hazard a guess that Woolworths need him more than he needs Woolworths. So I just want you to bear that in mind. The third biggest mistake is the wrong target market. This one makes me laugh. Unless you are a 13-year-old boy who's obsessed with origami, like my son, I really don't think that the Transformer movie is very well aligned with AA office paper. So someone did argue with me in a seminar that there is a photocopier in the movie that turns into a transformer. And when one of the buildings blows up, some paper falls out of it. But, that's a really, you're really clutching at straws there to draw an alignment. And ultimately, the 13-year-old boy is obsessed with origami and not out there buying sufficient paper to keep someone like AA happy. He pinches a few sheets out of my office, but really, the wrong target market. So again, you don't want to have your customers going, I have no idea why those two have gotten together. Much better example of a great alliance that I love is the Great Gatsby film and Tiffany's. I, aside from loving Tiffany's jewelry and loving that era, just thought it was such a good alignment. And if you Google that, you will find articles on the hugely positive impact that had on Tiffany's sales. So really, really important that you get your target market right. And as I've said, it's not the biggest database that will get you the best outcome. It's the best aligned database. Now, this is a Rabobank commercial. This is just an image out of that. And I don't know if you've seen it, but it's very funny. So you could probably Google it on YouTube. And it's a banker who's out there living the dreams of the bank's customers because they're taking all their money. And this particular one is where he says, I'm romancing your partner. And it really makes me laugh because I just thought it was a great way of explaining to a lot of people who come to me and say, can you just do it for me? It's too hard. I don't have the time to take out of my business to learn this, to build my own strategy, to go and find partners. It's all too hard. It's all too time consuming. Now, I want to tell you why that's a really bad idea. I have tested various ways of working with companies of all sizes, and I want to get you the best outcome. And I know that to get the best outcome, nobody knows your business as well as you do. And if you want to do this cost effectively, you can't afford to hire someone like me to come in and learn your business as well as you do, inside and out, so I can go out and get you the best partnerships. You also don't want to hire me to come around and be with you day in, day out, so that every time a partnership opportunity arises, I'm going to be there to go, oh my God, you should grab that. Oh my God, you should do something with that. So, there's lots of things you can delegate in your business, and I encourage you to do that, but this is not one of them. Not only do you need to own the strategy and create a partner-friendly culture in your business to maximize your success, but you need, if you want to move an alliance through very quickly and you want to do it at a certain level, the boss wants to talk to the boss. You also want to, and I don't have time to go into it now, but when an opportunity falls into my lap or I'm out, I have my partner radar up, I can see them, and I can take them, I can turn them around and see how much value I can leverage out of one opportunity. I just did this the other day when I received an invitation to a launch party, and I could have just said, look, I was definitely going to go, very high profile attendees. Beautiful venue, amazing, function to be at. So, great for me personally and professionally. I could have RSVP'd for myself and been done with it. That would have been a benefit. However, I looked at how I could really extract as much value as possible. And, I strategically invited somebody to come with me. And I then contacted the founder of that program and I said, would you like me to invite some of my key connections, because it would be a great opportunity for you to meet them. Now, I did that for a couple of reasons. Now, this particular person wants to work with us at quite a high level. And he wants to get into that side of my network, but also I didn't get a lot of time to see those people, and I certainly don't have time to throw a really, really fancy party for them. So this was an opportunity for me to invite them to something I knew that they would enjoy going to, and an opportunity for me to see them and to reconnect with them and to meet a whole bunch of new people to add to my network at a very strategic level. So you can kind of see how, because I know how to do this, and even when I've worked for banks and airlines, their alliance strategies are developed and owned at the highest level. So when you're thinking I want to delegate it, please don't. It's a lot of fun, and you will be able to do this in the best way. Now, as you become bigger and more successful, you can hire alliance managers. You can work with us to get introductions. There's a whole load of ways you can be very effective and you want to be in this sort of community. But no, first and foremost, this is a leadership skill that I think every serious business owner should master. So here's another case study for you, which I'll just touch on very briefly. Sanjay Pandaram was a client of ours who completed the program just under a year ago. He calculated recently that he had already achieved a 50-to-1 return on investment since working with us. Now, these are just some of the partners that he's worked in and that he's had interest from. So he ran a big campaign called Sydney's Favourite Trading, and he sourced all the prizes through his partners, Mercure Hotels and Bosch. He ran it in a really cool way where there was a benefit for the customer that nominated their favourite tradie, and there was a benefit for the winning tradie. So I thought he did it really beautifully. He calculated for me that between the editorials they got in MX newspaper, which was also a partner, the prizes they sourced, and all the free publicity, that he'd gotten about $100,000 worth of value out of that one campaign. When he was a startup, still not making a lot of money, but had invested in a great platform and building a great business, we had interest from one of the country's biggest retail loyalty programs in working with him. So he had great opportunities available to him before he was super successful, and I always find that really exciting.